up, foodies out there? It's your two favorite chefs back here for Cinephellas. I am Logan Berzato. That's my good mate over there.
And I'm Chef Henry Hill, and we're serving up a great dish tonight. We're talking about the brand new season of the hit Hulu show. Dropped all its episodes last week, and me and this guy binged it all within a day or two, of course. Couldn't miss it. We're talking about The Bear.
Season 3.
Are you doing this?
We're gonna get a star.
I thought it was a trap.
If any food critics coming in is correct.
It's totally packed.
So where's the money?
This is what's up now.
And they're going too slow.
You need to calm down.
This is what you wanted, right?
Heard, Chef. That's right. Two favorite Wild Boys are back here. Huge fans of the Bear hit series on Hulu, basically overnight. I remember when it first debuted with season 1, we watched it right away, and just because we love Jeremy Allen White. And falling in the world that, the backdrop of Chicago is very cool. Hotshot chef from fine dining in New York returns home to run his brother's sandwich shop. His brother, passes away, and they kind of dive into that and all the dysfunctional family within the series. Of course, his real family in the series, and of course, the family at the restaurant. That's just chaos that ensues throughout.
Yeah, it's one of those shows where in the first season, you go through all the chaos of, trying to make it work there at this new business and all these people that are just fresh into the business with Carmy at the helm. And you see how it's like there, the fast paced, just chaos that it is behind the counter, trying to get everything ready in time, and how it's day in and day out like that, and how they're, struggling to survive, especially in today's economy and everything with the way, not as many people are able to go out and spend money. So when you do have a product and a place that serves food, you have to have a great product, and you have to, be good to your customers and keep them coming back. So it deals a lot with that. And then in the second season, of course, Carmy was able to take his dream, that he had talked about with his brother, played by John Bernthal. He always wanted to open up the restaurant. And, it was all about them preparing and opening up that restaurant. They had to tear down Mr. Beef and start assembling the new kitchen there, come up with a menu, get everybody trained. We saw a lot of, the cooks there go to different places and train with actual real chefs along the way. We saw the backstory of Carmy, going to chef culinary school and going through the ringer of that with, the chefs there, and that the whole world of them. Basically, it's like, being a Marine, having a drill sergeant yell at you and break you down. Well, they much do that in the restaurant industry too. So we got to see that in season 2 and see how things ended up, where they opened up the Bear finally at the end. And then you saw Carmy's, melt down basically in that last episode, up into the point where he basically loses his girlfriend and gets locked into a walk-in refrigerator at the restaurant.
He gets locked in the cooler there, and he totally blows it, misses their opening in this big restaurant, but it shows, the employees at the Bear, them sticking together, getting through the opening night. They did a great job. You can see Carmy kind of falling down a really dark path there towards the end. And, beginning of season 3 is picking up where that left off, him getting out of the walk-in freezer, where his life's at, without Claire. He really, messed up that situation. He had something really good in his life finally. He blew that. So no more Claire. And you're seeing where the rest of the, the cast, what they're up to, and with a brand new restaurant, really nice and gourmet cuisines that they're presenting each night, a different menu. It's really ambitious. And of course, it brings more chaos into this season.
It's Christopher Storer here, the creator. And it seems like in season 3, just like the way it was filmed, the shots, the beautiful shots of the city, how it lines up to the music was just perfect, especially in that first episode. It really, hits on an emotional level too, just how the episode plays out. You have the one chef's mom, I believe, passes away. So they end up, dealing with that and her death and having the funeral all on the backdrop of just like the chaos that's going on inside Carmy's head, and dealing with the aftermath of the restaurant opening, and him hyper focusing on like the bad reviews and the negative reviews that are going to come out, that he thinks are going to come out. And it's just like him just filled with anxiety and you as a viewer are sort of thrust into that too, and going on along the ride with him. And another thing that I really liked about season 3 was we got to learn a lot, not just about Carmi, but about the other characters as well. This is a show that, where Jeremy Allen White is obviously the main character here, Carmi or Barzado, but there's a lot of side characters. And in season 3, they really are able to give us the backstories. Obviously the one I'm thinking about is with Tina, with a standalone episode that was among one of the best of the season for sure.
That was my favorite episode of the season for sure. With the bear, you get a lot of character building, and the supporting cast, you care about everybody. You get a backstory for everybody, not just about Carmi. And they focus on Tina's backstory, how she came from, like a finance accounting job for 15 years, gets laid off. She's trying to find a job throughout Chicago. She's striking out, down on her luck, really depressed, which sets up a lot of funny scenes of her just cooking for her husband that comes home from the job and smelling the crock pot. And that's all he does. He's there to support her. But she's going through some tough times and, comes across the bear and sets up her character where she's at now, how far she's come in a few seasons. So really amazing writing. That was directed by Sydney, the actress Ayo Edebiri directed that episode, the best one for sure. It had a lot of heart, a lot of feel, a lot of great dialogue between her and John Bernthal's character as well. But yeah, each episode has to do with different characters, but that was definitely my favorite for sure. And there's of course another dysfunctional family episode towards the end too. Jamie Lee Curtis returning as the mother, and Carmi's sister Natalie is pregnant, is about to give birth to a child, and of course Jamie Lee, the mom, being there, and they're disconnect as mother and daughter.
Season 2, we got a lot of cool guest stars. Jamie Lee Curtis, obviously you mentioned, Bob Odenkirk, John Mulvaney, and some of those actually return in season 3, and we get even more guest stars this year, just like complete surprises, well used cameos and portrayals there. We won't spoil any for you, but Will Poulter comes back. That was one of the people that come back, and a couple new faces. An interesting cameo, we'll say. It's actually a legit part, obviously not just a cameo because it's throughout this whole season 3. It's one of the chefs that Carmi was under, who was played by Joel McHale, and he was sort of that guy that was already always in Carmi's mind, and bad mouthing him and telling him he can do better and what is this shit, and just really tears Carmi up, emotionally, and has him jolted every time. And he comes back towards the end and, gets inside Carmi's head again. But it's a way to move the story forward in this season 3 for Carmi. It's more focused this season 3, like on a limited amount of time. It feels like it was within a couple weeks or a couple days, rather than like a big scope and the weeks of the season 2 with the restaurant opening. This is much more focused on the aftermath of the restaurant opening, and like really seeing how Carmi's just like completely going nuts, and really needs help, and he doesn't have anybody to talk to because he ruined things with his girlfriend Claire. And of course we have old Richie back, cousin Richie, who's always great. And he's going through his own arc this season too. Richie has a daughter, and she has a whole side of the family with the mom and her new husband, who's played by a guest star there, which is a cool cameo there too. But yeah, just like that's what makes the Bear work, is because every character feels like a real character, feels like a real person, has interactions, and you see it all on the screen. They don't really shortchange anybody. And this season really, over the 10 episodes, really gives you a look, a deep look into their lives, how they operate day to day, and the new things that are coming available in these chefs' lives. With Sydney, now she's offered a new job, and she has to think about maybe going on to something else besides the Bear. And it's very much a season of change, we'll say.
Season of change, and a lot is on the line, not to mention a lot of money they put into this. And all the, ingredients that they're bringing in to this restaurant is so expensive, and it really dives into Oliver Platt's character, Uncle Jimmy, his funding this restaurant, the Bear, Michelin star restaurant, top of the line, fine dining. And, Carmi's, losing his mind. He's super ambitious. He wants to try a new menu. He doesn't really care what anybody else has for input, especially Sydney. He's like, no, we're going to make it this way and do it this, change it every night, which is super, super complicated, especially when you have waiters and things like that, they have to learn the menu each night. And it's super complicated. It's a lot different vibe in the Bear compared to the old, Mr. Beef, which is yelling and making sandwiches and have each creation they make with Carmi, being the mad scientist here. Besides that, yeah, all the episodes have supporting cast, different characters, Richie being my favorite, Eben MOSS-BACHRACH. Yeah, he's blowing up right now, and I love this actor. I loved his, episode with his daughter and his family meeting the new stepdad, which is really interesting. But I didn't get any Taylor Swift this season, which I was kind of bummed about. I was hoping Richie would, be depressed and be singing Taylor Swift in his car or something.
Yeah, that would have been a nice callback for sure.
Favorite
Yeah.
episode of last season. Other characters, the Fact Boys, Neil Fack, Maddie Matheson, which I love. He's a real chef. Used to watch the show on Vice. He was incredible. He's cleaned up the season. Working at the Bear, they all really are. They're like got rid of the t-shirts, they're all wearing suits. It's fine dining, and he cleaned up a lot, and he's really great. And I think it's his brother, like the maintenance guy that's always there. It's like every Chicago person
brother.
we know. And
Yeah.
they're really great. They're like Tweedledee and Tweedledum this season. They're just funny how they worked off one another.
Yeah, I love watching them together, the two goofballs. We also got to see Olivia Colman again. She just brings it to the screen. She just has this, weight to her performance. And you can see she really is able to get through to Carmi too and sort of relax him and settle him down and let him know that, hey, I didn't always know what I was doing either. It's going to take some time for you to figure things out. It's normal to be worried, but like, don't get so worried that, you're going to ruin your dream, basically. She has that talk with him in that episode. I love the music and the intros this year too, the way they're shot, in the one episode, I can't remember the second or third episode, where they went and actually, go into the businesses downtown Chicago and see how everybody's setting up, and you actually get to see the real people, the workers of Chicago around Chicago, and see them interacting. And it's kind of meta too, because they're like waving like, hey, somebody's coming in to film them. Obviously Christopher Storer going in there. It just lends to the show. It just feels really authentic, and coming from the Chicago area, it feels like the city very much. They capture that so well.
Chicago is just another character in the show, really, and I love how they portray it. Working class, blue collar, Midwest, and I thought they really captured that beautifully with all the different places you're talking about, different restaurants, people going to work, setting up for the day. It just had that feel to it, which creates a really interesting vibe to the show. It really captures Chicago and, hard work ethic and, giving your all day in and day out to be successful, and, having to do with Carmi and the rest of the crew this season with the Bear. A lot is on the line, a lot of stress is there for Carmi. He has to succeed, and, has to do with the review. They're going to come in and see this restaurant. Is it going to make or break this restaurant, especially with businesses going under? It's a tough time, and a lot is on the line this season, which I really loved. It was very stressful, like it always is. It's always chaos. With all these characters working together, they don't get along at times. They're yelling, they're screaming, they're cussing at each other. You're not sure what's going to happen next. It just keeps you on the edge of your seat. And that's how I felt with this season, binging it within a day. I just couldn't stop watching it. I was excited to see what was going to happen with the next episode, and kind of leaves you on the edge of your seat to be continued until the next season. So good time all around. So that being said, I had a really great time with The Bear, still one of my favorite new shows out there, season 3, currently streaming on Hulu. Binged it, so definitely check it out, binge it yourselves, and let us know what you think about it. So I'm going to give The Bear season 3, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. Call me Brazzetto hair pieces. Yes, chef. Heard, chef.
I heard that, chef. Yeah, your review is spot on. Everything that you said. Love all the choices Christopher Storer makes with the show. It's just so close to his heart, and it's on the screen throughout all the performances. All the actors want to be there. Everybody gives it their all, much like the whole heart of the show. And you want to see this restaurant succeed, and that's where I hope that we're leading to. Moving into the season 4. The season 3 was great, much more focused. It felt more contained than the previous seasons, but it gave time for the story to breathe and for these characters to go through their issues and deal with some stuff. And then, the way it leads off with a pretty big cliffhanger there. And I can't wait to see where this goes. The show just, remains being one of the best on TV currently, and, is, one of my favorites. And I'm glad that it's been renewed, and we already know that season 4 is going to probably be coming out next year sometime. So it's going to be a long wait, but we're here for it, and we can't wait. A lot of people have said maybe this is a show that would do a little better if they just did one episode, drop one episode a week, let it marinate, because you watch these episodes so fast. It's just like it's gone in a couple days. Like we talk about it, and then it's going to be a long wait, So this is that kind of quality of a show where maybe one episode a week drop would help that, and give us more time to talk about each episode too, without flying through it. But that's just a testament to how good of a show it is. And season 3 retains the quality of season 2. I didn't have any qualms with it at all. Loved what the what happened with all the characters, trajectory of all the characters, the arcs, and we're seeing some of these characters, having to face some tough decisions coming up, the way things left off. So with that being said, I'm going to give season 3 of The Bear, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5 Tina Marrero hair pieces.
So I want to hear from all you food snobs out there. What did you like about season 3 of The Bear? What didn't you like about it? What's your favorite season thus far? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. Also check out these wild chefs on Facebook, X, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV, movie news and reviews.
So thank you Chicago Bear fans out there. We'll be back to review season 4 very soon, hopefully within, it would be awesome if they're like, actually, we're going to drop this towards the end of the year here, like December, November. That would be amazing. But we'll see. Supposedly they filmed some of season 4 already. I don't know how much, but they have shot some of it. So that means that it's going to be on the way. So hopefully not too long of a wait, and we'll be back for the new season. We love season 3, and we want to hear from you guys. So until the next Cinephellas TV review, I'm Chef Henry Hill.
And I'm Chef Logan Allen White, signing out until the next TV review, chefs. Heard, chefs.
Heard, chefs.
Cheers!